Hi, this is Chris with Quilter Labs, and today I want to walk you through a quick session on how to set up your Elevate Intuitive guitar engine to get it to work in a live application. So, our goal here is to be able to make changes on the fly with our Elevate effects unit and be able to retain those changes as we go. So we're going to have to dive in a little bit with settings, but one of the first things I have to remind you of right out of the gate, you cannot change or modify a factory preset. So anytime you have a factory preset, say in a playlist or a set list that you're working with, and you go to make changes to that on the fly, it's going to undo those changes the moment you go to leave. So one of the things that we really need to do first, and I have a factory reset unit here, so this is just like it would be out of the box for you. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to create some user presets. So this is what I would recommend to you. If you find a factory preset you like, don't just throw that into your set list. Make your own version of it, modify it, change it for yourself, or use it as is, but make a copy of it. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to hit New Copy Preset, and we're going to copy that preset alive to a live one. For now, we'll just use the basic names of the unit. So let's go to the next one on the list, like Teen Spirit, New Copy, Copy. Yep, we'll like Teen Spirit 1, will work for me. Let's go over to the next one. No One Knows, New Copy, copy that preset to No One Knows 1. That works for me as well. And we'll do one more just for the, oh, well, I got ahead of myself there. Exit, yes. And we'll do one more. What else do we got? Monkey Wrench, I like that. New Copy Preset, Monkey Wrench 1. And that'll work. So we've created these 4 new user presets. Let's make ourselves a list. So new list, and we'll go there, and we'll just call this one grungy because all this, well, most of them on there are grungy, so why not? And then we're going to intentionally effect some changes here in these presets, and that's kind of intentional. As you're developing your own presets, one of the things you're going to do if you go to play live is you're likely to at some point want to be able to modify things on the fly. So the way it works now is if I change anything, for example, if I hit level on this Monkey Wrench 1 and turn it down, and I have to hit Save Preset. If I just try to get out of there, it'll immediately remind me, hey, you're making changes. You want to save those? And I either hit OK, no, I don't. I'm still going to make some more changes, or undo. You have to hit undo to get back out of that. Well, how do we make it just take those changes? Because when we're working with our stuff on the fly, oh, and let's switch over to our set list. Okay, so we made grungy set list. We're going to switch over there. Oh, empty. Well, I guess it helps if I put some presets in there. All right, so let's do that next. Let's see, going with Monkey Wrench first. So what we're going to do is turn one more to the right to add that preset to the list, and we're going to add the Monkey Wrench preset to grungy. Save, yes. Okay, we'll go to the next one we want, No One Knows, and add the preset to the list. Note that the menu sticks to wherever you were last. It makes it easier to do things like this. Like Teen Spirit, we're going to add that preset to grungy. We're going to save, and oops, let me exit out of there, and we'll do a live one, which is what we started off with. Add preset to the list, grungy, and save. Okay, cool. Now we can switch over to grungy. You can't go to a preset list or a list that has no presets on it. So now we can go over there. It'll ask us which one do we want first, and we'll just go to the one we want. We can reorder these on the pedal board. We'll cover that in another video though. Okay, what we want to get at here is what does it take in this case to be able to make changes? So as I'm going through, again, let's just kind of go in here and make some changes, and I have to save every time. So that's not going to work if you're playing live. That's going to get very frustrating and complicated. So and I'm doing this on all of them. In this case, I'm just going to get ahead of it and hit save. And yet still. Okay, Monkey Wrench, No One Knows, and we'll adjust that. So all these levels are just off now. It's done very intentionally. And then like Teen Spirit, we'll make this one intentionally too loud. Save. Okay. So as you notice, anytime I make changes to the unit, if I want to add modulation to it, immediately the save exit light pops up. But when we're making changes in a live setting, we want those changes to be to stick, basically, or if I'm just making adjustments to get ready for a set list. So in this example that I just made here, we'll go to the first song here. No one knows. Right? So I play that. Now I switch to the next one. And it's louder. And I want to change that. So, okay, turn that volume down. And, like Teen Spirit, I'm going to hit the volume and turn that preset level down. But now if I want to go back and compare, I have to save the preset again. And now I can go back and compare. So how can we get this to just take those changes? Because we want this to work like a pedal board would right in front of you. If I change the mids, I want it to keep the mids changed on that preset and keep rolling on so I can get right back to the workflow of doing what it is I'm doing. Here's how we do that. This setting is actually controlled under the hood by something in the setup menu. To get to the setup menu on the Elevate, we're simply going to hold down that rotary encoder for 2 seconds, just like the little gear icon tells you here, and we're going to turn to the right. And in this case, output stereo is fine. And we want to go over all the way to preset change. And this one simple thing, so in order to change this, by the way, when you're scrolling through, you have various different things that you can have, but preset change. When we're changing this one, so if anything has just one thing can change, jam link enabled, I pushed a button, jam link disabled. But this is an exception. Preset change is either ask, auto save, or auto undo. So what does each one of these do? And so why would we want to use this in a live setting? Ask is the default. It's like training wheels. It's reminding you every time you do something, hey, you want to save that? You want to save that? Or do you want to undo that? Or do you not want to save that yet? The question that you really have to ask yourself at that point is, if I'm in a live setting, and I change my mids, when I come back after rehearsal, I want it to still have that change I made to my mids when I go to play the gig, right? So instead of being annoyed all the time, I can actually change that to auto save, and then I can exit from there. So once it's in that auto save mode, this now automatically, anytime I change, so if let's say let's go back in and so like Teen Spirit. And notice that I can go right back to when no one knows and compare my levels. Now I want a little more mid-range in this one. Good, that's a little more balanced. And onto a little more volume there. Maybe I've got a little more reverb than I really want, so I'll back up, bring my level back up a little. Volume level's low there. Right? So as you can see, as I'm scrolling through, it's retaining all these changes. Like Teen Spirit, the level's set at 0 dB, and I come over to a live, and I'm going to set it for 1.2. If I go back to like Teen Spirit, it's still 0. And alive is 1.2, right where I set it. So what this is doing is it's letting me roll through all of my presets and adjust each one of them. So again, it might be a little too much mid there. So we put it at -6. And it stays at -6. And all that said, there's a quick, easy way for you to set the unit up and operate with it live. You can always put this back and go back into the point where it's asking you again. But one more thing I want to do in this case. So let's go back to our all presets list. I'm going to add in a factory preset and show you what happens if I do that. So we'll pick one. Let's see. Oh, Shining Star. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that new copy, add preset to list, that Shining Star, and we're going to put a factory preset on the grungy list. We'll save that, and we'll switch back over to that grungy list. Okay, so you'll notice again, as I play, and I make changes, it'll retain those changes. But if I go to a factory preset and I turn that up, the moment I go to leave, did you hear it drop back down? That's because it's automatically undoing the factory preset. So anytime you're working and you want to be able to do this on the fly, one thing to bear in mind is factory presets can't be changed. You can't overwrite them. You can't delete them. They're there to always give you that kind of North Star to how to get started with a given tone. So anytime you have a factory preset and you want to utilize it in a live setting and use this method, one of the things I highly recommend is create a user preset version of it, name it whatever you want to name it, and then go ahead and put that into your set list. And that way you can more easily make modifications to it on the fly. Then you have your version. You can always revert back to the factory version because you'll always have it. So all that said, that's kind of it for today. So again, thanks everybody so much for tuning in. Be sure to like us, subscribe. As we release these videos, this is how we're going to let you know what's going on, pro tips and tricks, and how to use the Elevate and other Quilter products as well. And all that said, be sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll see you on the next episode. In the comments down below, tell me what else you want to know.